If you are a non white, cis woman, or non cis person who considers yourself a feminist, navigating or trying to navigate feminist spaces, you have or will encounter spaces controlled by white feminism. And when you try to bring issues that specifically affect your communities, like for example, racism, imperialism, transphobia, homophobia, etc., they will often tell you that those issues you're trying to bring up to the space are not feminist issues. And when we choose silence in white feminist spaces, we do it because we know our safety will be jeopardized if we insist. So we compromise and move on, or we just leave the space altogether. This has personally happened to me once, and I will not go into details, but I'm just going to say that I was invited to a Women's Day event here in Stockholm as the token black woman. And when I asked if I could speak about issues that affect Dominican women instead of a prompt that was given to me, I was dismissed in a very verbally abusive way. It is not the time nor the place to talk about those issues. They are not feminist issues, and other similar positions in white feminist spaces happen very often to women who don't fit in a specific model of what a woman is. White feminism sets the agenda of the things we should care about, that we should be outraged about, and I feel like the whole Barbie movie controversy is not the exception. So, if you live under the rock and you don't know what happened, so I'm gonna tell you exactly like what happened with the Barbie movie. So, long story short, Greta Gerwig, the director of the Barbie movie, and Margot Robbie, the actress who plays Barbie, didn't get an Oscar nomination. I saw the movie. I really enjoyed it. It was very, very fun. I strongly recommend it if you haven't watched it. Ryan Gosling deserves the nomination, and you can call me a bad feminist for saying that. He just disappeared into the character so much that he made me enjoy his musical number even when I hate musicals. I didn't talk about the movie when it came out because I felt it wasn't necessary. I don't think the movie is that deep, and I respect those who think the movie's message is very deep. For me, at the end of the day, it was a big Barbie commercial. Like, for me, the objective of the movie was to revive the brand, and that's why the movie is a good introduction to white feminism, even when the feminist message wasn't like that good either for me. At the end, spoiler alert, Barbie and the other dolls cater towards the feelings of the men. Like, your Kenoff became a huge catchphrase from the movie, and the movie shows a good image of men and the corporation that wanted to literally cage Barbie. So, yeah, all of those like conservative commentators talking about how Barbie hates men, they either didn't watch the movie or they have zero media analysis, or they just don't know how to watch a piece of media and interpret what they see in their screens, which is kind of ironic because the movie was very, very straightforward. And I also personally believe that the movie wasn't as brave as Lady Bird, a movie that was also directed by Greta Gerwig that I really, really, really enjoyed. And I understand why the movie couldn't take that many risks. I have nothing against that. I understand because the movie, the Barbie movie, was a huge publicity push for the brand, for Mattel, and a brilliant marketing strategy to revive the brand, which, let's be honest, it was kind of dying. Nonetheless, and I say it once again, I really enjoyed the movie and I can't wait to watch it again. It was witty, it was fun, the scripts were really, really good, well written. It had an amazing scenography, the costume design was on point, photography, there's like a lot of shots in the movie that you can just take a screenshot and it's like a perfect photo, etc. If you want me to talk more about the movie, let me know in the comments. I can make a Patreon episode or I can just do a YouTube and podcast episode if you want me to. So it can help to think like, what is a real feminist issue? And don't get me wrong, in the context of pop culture, I do believe they deserve the nomination, both Margot Robbie and Greta Gerwig. But the problem is that in the middle of the backlash, there's been this push into making them being snubbed out of the Oscars as some sort of universal feminist fight that we feminists must care about, and that them not getting that Oscar nomination is destroying women's rights in the world. And I'm like, it's not that deep. Seriously, like, you have the right to be angry and annoyed because your favorite actress or director didn't get the recognition you think they deserve. That's an important part of pop culture discussion. Like, for example, I love Glenn Close, and I think is extremely unfair that she has never won an Oscar. But I don't believe her never having won an Oscar is a feminist issue, especially since the 8th of March is approaching. I want to take the little space I have, I want to take the small platform I have to reclaim my position as a feminist and to say that Margot Robbie and Greta Gerwig not getting an Oscar nomination is not a feminist issue. And we should stamp our foot on the ground, not only because there are bigger issues that are happening right now, like what's happening in Sudan, what's happening in Tigray, what's happening in Gaza, what's happening in the Democratic Republic of Congo, etc., but also because we need to understand that just because a woman, especially a white cis woman, doesn't get what she wants, it doesn't mean that it is a feminist issue. Now, I want to talk about sexism in the film industry. We live in a patriarchal society. Therefore, the film industry, like any other industry, field of work, expression, and space, is not immune to sexism. On the contrary, from female actors getting worse salaries than male actors, the severe lack of female directors in the industry, and how often they must work much harder to just get funding for a project, how female actors must do unnecessary nude scenes, and the several scandals of sexual assault and abuse against women in the industry are just the tip of the iceberg of how toxic and sexist the film industry is, even though film is an art form that has captivated a lot of people around the world. And even from the audience, actresses can receive sexism, especially when they play characters that don't fit into gender roles, or if the movie is perceived as hating men, just because it has a more feminist message. The Barbie movie was at the receiving end of sexist backlash fueled by right-wing commentators as part of their eternal culture wars crusade. But this didn't prevent the movie from becoming a huge box office success, proving once again that Greta Gerwig is a respected and established director in the industry and opening more doors for female directors. It is true that the film industry has a huge sexism issue that needs to be addressed and discussed. I have a lot of respect for pop culture and media analysis. I even did a course about it because media and pop culture are both windows and mirrors to our society and world. Like, I took this course on postcolonial perspectives on audiovisual media, and that course have helped me a lot to create not only video essays but also to see media in a different way. And also, I don't believe in the Olympics of oppression, and issues shouldn't be used as a gotcha moment. That doesn't solve anything, and it does more harm than good. Because I believe in the power of conversations, deep analysis, and discussions, I want to ask those who believe this talented director and equally talented actress not getting Oscar nominations is a feminist issue that we must fight for. Why? Because I don't see it, especially when we see Lily Gladstone nomination as Best Actress, a first for Native American women, and America Ferrera being nominated for Barbie as a supportive actress, a first for her after being in the film industry for decades. And now we're going to talk about Sofia Coppola feminism. While writing the script of this episode, I took a break and watched the movie Marie Antoinette because for some reason, the Barbie movie and all of this discussion reminded me of Sofia Coppola and this movie. I've seen a few of her movies, and even if I don't like some of her movies, like Lost in Translation, because I feel like nothing happens, they all give me this feeling of her intention as a director of show us not only women's stories, but also how women live, how they feel and think, and what she shows can be translated into universal experiences of womanhood. And while watching this movie, I came up with the term Sofia Coppola feminism, which I'm coining right now, okay? Yes, I am coining the term Sofia Coppola feminism right now. So, the way I define Sofia Coppola feminism and something I came up with is showing the stories of white middle class, upper middle class, and upper class women as universal expressions of womanhood in which under womanhood is homogenized and reduced. I see Sofia Coppola feminism as a brand of white feminism. A film director has the right to show the stories they care about. That's part of being an honest artist, of being an honest director. And honesty translates into a piece. It makes it more enjoyable and helps us connect with it. Maybe that's why so many connect with Sofia Coppola's films, because regardless of everything, they're also honest. But not all women connect with Sofia Coppola's movies, as well as not all women connected with the Barbie movie. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. We can enjoy stories that are not about our experiences. I enjoy movies that are not about my experiences all the time. I actually rather prefer to watch those movies. I like to escape. I like to see new things or things that are foreign to me. But the same way Sofia Coppola's movies are presented as the universal portrait of womanhood, so does the Barbie movie. And there's the problem. Like Marie Antoinette, we fall in love, we have friends, we are crushed by severe patriarchal expectations and have flaws that makes us humans. But what about the peasant women who also suffer under the French monarchy? Are they women? It is fair to say that this is the story of Marie Antoinette, but the thing is that she, by telling Marie Antoinette's story, she's also saying that those who don't fit into that category don't exist. She used Marie Antoinette's lore, Marie Antoinette's persona, Marie Antoinette's character to tell what she thinks are women's stories. And that's completely different from telling the story of Maria Antoinette. Another example of this is the movie The Beguiled, which was directed by Sofia Coppola and released in 2017, which was about a group of women of the Confederacy during the American Civil War. The movie faced a huge backlash because Sofia Coppola decided to remove an African American character that was in the 1966 novel of the same name, in which the movie is based on. And let me tell you guys, her response of the backlash, I'm just gonna read it, okay? So, in response of the backlash, Sofia Coppola wrote an article in the IndieWire.com. I'm gonna include the link in the episode description, explaining why she decided to remove the black woman from the movie. And I'm just gonna read it. I'm just gonna read it, and you're gonna tell me in the comments what you think. Okay? This is me directly quoting Sofia Coppola. I wanted to tell the story of the isolation of these women, cut off from the world and in denial of a changing world. I also focus on how they deal with repression and desire when a man comes into their abandoned world, and how this situation affects each of them, being at different stages of their life and development. I thought there were universal themes about desire and male and female power dynamics that could relate to all women. Greta Gerwig and Margot Robbie will be fine. They will go on to make more movies and continue to have a very successful career in the film industry. Greta Gerwig is a young, successful director who has achieved a lot and will most likely have more opportunities in her career where she can get not only an Oscar nomination but also the award itself. The Barbie movie is one of the most successful movies of the last decade and will forever be part of pop culture. Even the snubbing itself will forever be part of pop culture and will be discussed forever and ever. When analyzing this, writers will bring their political ideas when crafting an opinion piece. And if they conclude that it is a feminist issue, that's their opinion, but it's still not a feminist issue that they didn't get an Oscar nomination. We don't need to get up in arms. We don't need to start a conversation. We don't need to get angry just because two white women didn't get an Oscar nomination. Thank you so much for listening and watching this episode. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think Margot Robbie and Greta Gerwig not getting an Oscar nomination is a feminist issue? Why? Why not? I want to read what you think. So let me know in the comments. Maybe there's something that I didn't see in my analysis. We all have blind spots. Also, let me know if you want me to analyze more pop culture things in the comments. I want to read what you think. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share this episode. I will try to upload episodes as often as possible. I wanted to go back to the format of animation because of the topic. And also, I'm on social media. I'm on Instagram and I'm on TikTok, where I also have like exclusive content for those platforms. And I'm also on Patreon, where I have a lot of exclusive content. So go check my Patreon. And I want to thank my patrons for supporting this project. It really, really means a lot to me. I'm also on most podcast platforms. And thank you so much for listening and watching, and see you next time.